A young child named George lived on a tiny farm with his family. He had no idea that he would one day become the first president of the United States. This is the amazing story of George Washington's constant dedication to promises and freedom. George was a curious and hardworking boy who loved exploring nature and helping out on the farm. One day, George's parents requested that he carry a message to their neighbor, Mr. Johnson. George promised to do so immediately. As George set off on his journey, he faced his first challenge, a broken bridge blocking his way. But George didn't let that stop him. He was determined to find a way across the river. George says to himself,
I have to keep my word and deliver this message. Mr. Johnson is counting on me.
When George arrived at Mr. Johnson's residence, he noticed a group of kids arguing near the river. They found a lost puppy, but they can't agree on who gets to keep it. George helped children overcome an argument over a lost puppy by recommending that they share responsibility and satisfy their promise together. The children agreed to George's idea, and they promised to take care of the puppy as a team. George felt proud of his solution and continued on his journey. Despite the rain pouring down and soaking his clothes, George didn't give up. He kept going, determined to deliver the letter as promised. During the Revolutionary War, George made a promise to his fellow soldiers. He promised to fight for their freedom and independence from British rule. George, with determination,
I promise, my friends, I will lead you with honor and fight for our freedom.
After countless battles and hardships, the soldiers finally celebrated their hard-earned victory. They knew they could rely on George and his unwavering commitment to their cause. The people admired George's leadership and integrity so much that they chose him as the first president of the United States. He accepted the role with humility and a strong sense of duty. George addressing the people,
I promise to serve you with honesty and dedicate myself to the principles of freedom and justice.
As the president, George Washington kept his promises to the people. He worked tirelessly to build a strong nation and protect the rights of its citizens. He believed that keeping one's word was essential for a leader. One day, George gathered the town's children and spoke to them about the importance of keeping promises, emphasizing how it fosters trust and respect. George politely says,
Kids, remember that a promise is valuable. When you make a promise, you should stick to it. It shows that you are trustworthy and helps build strong relationships.
Inspired by George's words, the children decided to create a promise tree in the town square. They wrote down promises on colorful leaves and hung them on the tree as a reminder to keep their commitments. They understood the importance of keeping one's word and fighting for what is right, recognizing the power of promises and the enduring quest for freedom.